Humility is a virtue celebrated across cultures and religions. It is the quality of being humble, which entails having a modest view of one's importance. In Islamic tradition, humility is deeply embedded within its practices and teachings. The lines from a well-known Islamic prayer, "O Allah, make me among those who are humble," reflect this sentiment. This prayer underscores the desire to embody humility in one's daily life and before God. Humility is not just about lowering oneself, but about recognizing the value of others and the greatness of the divine. It allows individuals to connect with others on a deeper level and fosters a sense of community and empathy. In many religious traditions, humility is seen as a pathway to spiritual enlightenment and moral integrity. In this essay, we will explore the concept of humility as taught in different religions. We will delve into Islamic teachings, including sayings from the Prophet Muhammad, and compare these with the teachings from Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, and Buddhism. By examining these religious perspectives, we can better understand the universal importance of humility. Understanding humility through various religious lenses can offer insights into how this virtue shapes spiritual and everyday life. We will see how these teachings converge and the common threads that bind them. In Islam, humility is regarded as a vital quality for anyone who seeks to live a righteous life. The Quran repeatedly emphasizes the importance of being humble. One notable verse states, "And the servants of the Most Merciful are those who walk upon the earth humbly." Quran 25:63. This verse illustrates that humility should be evident in a believer's behavior and interactions. Prophet Muhammad is known for his profound humility. He lived a life of simplicity and modesty despite his status. One of his sayings, or hadith, goes, "No one humbles himself for the sake of Allah, except that Allah raises him in status." This teaches that true humility is rewarded by God and leads to spiritual elevation. The Prophet's life serves as an exemplar for Muslims to follow in their quest for humility. Humility in Islam extends beyond personal behavior to include how one treats others. The idea is to recognize the worth of every individual and to approach interactions with kindness and respect. This principle is deeply rooted in the community-oriented nature of Islamic teachings, where helping others and fostering goodwill are paramount. Moreover, humility before God is a central tenet in Islamic worship. Muslims show humility through their prayers, which involve bowing and prostrating, acts that symbolize submission to the divine. This physical expression of humility reinforces the spiritual attitude of recognizing one's dependence on God. Christianity also places great emphasis on humility. The Bible contains numerous passages that highlight its importance. One well-known verse from the New Testament says, "For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." Luke 14:11. This teaching, echoed by Jesus, stresses the value of humility and the divine favor it attracts. Jesus Christ himself is seen as the epitome of humility. Born in a manger and leading a life of service, his actions and teachings encourage believers to adopt a humble stance. The Beatitudes, a series of blessings mentioned in the Sermon on the Mount, begin with, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Matthew 5:3. Further reinforcing the importance of humility in Christian life. In Judaism, humility is equally esteemed. The Torah speaks of Moses as very humble, more than any man on the face of the earth. Numbers 12:3. His humility before God and people is a model for Jews to emulate. Jewish teachings suggest that humility is essential for living a life in accordance with divine will and fostering harmonious relationships with others. Rabbinic literature also stresses humility as a key virtue. The Talmud states, "He who humbles himself, the Holy One, blessed be he, raises up," Baba Metzia 85b. This reflects a shared belief with Islam and Christianity that true humility brings spiritual elevation and divine favor. Section 4. Humility in Hinduism and Buddhism. Hinduism views humility as a fundamental aspect of spiritual growth. The Bhagavad Gita, a sacred Hindu text, lists humility as one of the 26 divine qualities. Lord Krishna says, Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity. These transcendental qualities belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Bhagavad Gita 13:8. This underscores that humility is crucial for those who seek a higher spiritual path. In Hindu practices, humility is often expressed through acts of devotion and service. The concept of seva, or selfless service, encourages individuals to serve others without expecting anything in return. This act of selflessness is seen as a way to cultivate humility and dissolve the ego. Buddhism also places a significant emphasis on humility. The Buddha taught that humility is essential for overcoming the ego and attaining enlightenment. One of the teachings states, "A wise man, recognizing that the world is but an illusion, does not act as if it is real, so he escapes the suffering." Humility in this context is about understanding the impermanent nature of life and letting go of egoistic attachments. The practice of mindfulness in Buddhism encourages individuals to be aware of their thoughts and actions, fostering a humble attitude. Monastic life in Buddhism is a direct manifestation of humility, where monks and nuns live simple lives dedicated to spiritual practice and the service of others. Section 5. Universal Lessons from Religious Teachings. The teachings of humility across various religions highlight its universal significance. In Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism and Buddhism, humility is seen as a virtue that leads to spiritual growth and moral integrity. Despite the differences in doctrines and practices, the core message remains the same. Humility helps individuals connect with the divine and foster positive relationships with others. Humility encourages self-reflection and the recognition of one's limitations. It promotes a sense of gratitude and contentment, reducing the desire for material possessions and power. This universal teaching can lead to a more harmonious and compassionate society, where individuals value others and work towards the common good. The stories of religious figures such as Prophet Muhammad, Jesus Christ, Moses, Lord Krishna and Buddha serve as powerful examples of humility. Their lives and teachings provide guidance for believers on how to embody humility in their daily lives. These examples show that humility is not a sign of weakness, but a strength that brings inner peace and divine favor. By embracing humility, individuals can achieve a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the world. This virtue fosters empathy, compassion, and a sense of interconnectedness, which are essential for personal and spiritual development. Section 6 Conclusion: The Power of Humility. In conclusion, humility is a powerful virtue that transcends religious boundaries. It is a common thread that ties together the teachings of Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, and Buddhism. Each religion offers unique insights into the importance of humility, but they all agree on its significance for spiritual and moral development. Humility helps individuals recognize their dependence on the divine and their connections with others. It encourages selflessness, empathy, and compassion, which are crucial for creating a harmonious society. By learning from the examples of religious figures and texts, individuals can cultivate humility in their own lives. The universal message of humility reminds us that true greatness lies not in exalting oneself, but in serving others and acknowledging the divine. It is a timeless lesson that continues to inspire and guide people of all faiths. By embracing humility, we can achieve a deeper sense of peace, fulfillment, and spiritual growth. As we reflect on the teachings of humility from different religions, let us strive to embody this virtue in our daily lives. In doing so, we can create a more compassionate and understanding world where humility leads the way to unity and peace.